Okay, so in this last part, we're going to be looking at issue 13 of Mean Machines SEGA. I mostly collected this one back in 1993 and it quickly became one of my favourites. So, let's have a look, shall we? And so as we can see, the cover game here is the Mega Drive version of Street Fighter 2. Although the review itself wasn't actually in the magazine, it was in a separate booklet that came with it. I am afraid I don't actually have that anymore, but I can safely say that the game got 98%. So, yes, that was very popular. So, as in the first page, we see an advert for NHL 94. This was, I think, the third game on the Mega Drive. And of course, certainly not the last. Or even the last NHL game, full stop. So here are the contents page. All the features there. The editorial. Bit there on talking a bit more about Street Fighter 2. And all the writers for the magazines as well. And here we have an advert for James Pond 2 on the Master System. Good port that actually. Had a good game to boot. And here we have a news rather, including a piece on Super Street Fighter 2, just as the Mega Drive version is reviewed. Bit on Lotus Turbo Challenge 2 as well. And The Occupants, a platform game for the Mega Drive, which is based on a German cartoon, if I remember rightly. And there we have the first screenshots for Virtua Fighter. Oh boy, hard to imagine how much of an innovation that game turned out to be, eh? And Castlevania, the New Generation, or Castlevania Bloodlines, to give it its Western and frankly much better title. It's now Ranked Games. I think it's for some kind of electronic shop, I think. Can't quite remember that. The Virtua Star Wars, that was an arcade game that was later ported over to the Mega Drive 32X, or V32X rather, and a bit on Sonic Chaos as well. And I put for Jurassic Park on the Mega Drive. Here we have the Mega CD version of Flashback, and Marco's Magic Football on the Mega Drive. A platformer where you use the football as a weapon. Not on that. Thunderhawk on the Mega CD, an advert for that. Very good of a helicopter game for the Mega CD. A work in progress feature for the Lost Vikings. It was a Mega Drive port of the excellent Super Nintendo sort of platform puzzle game. That's a very good one. An advert here for the original FIFA International Soccer, the first and certainly not last again. So here's a feature: Street Fighter 2 versus Mortal Kombat. They compared the two both games on the Mega Drive, and saw which one came out on top. Not hard to tell which game actually came out, but they thought was better. Mortal Kombat was good, but Street Fighter 2 was much better. You all gave their little opinions on the game, and if you haven't guessed by now which is, in our opinion, the superior Mega Drive beat-up, you're a bit of a figure with the intellectual dexterity of a donkey. Yep, I did like Street Fighter 2 a lot more. Here we have a letters page, Mean Yob, featuring the titular character Mean Yob. Had a bit of an attitude problem. And then we have a little bit of art there as well. We have a Q&A section, which was run by Julian Rignall, or Jazz, as he was generally known as. He's where readers would send any questions they may have had. Quite a lot of them consisted of when Sonic 3 coming out. And here we have a tips page. A lot of the latest tips and cheats. So you got Combat and Road to a Rescue there. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a Hyperstone Heist, which I covered in the previous edition of Memories of SEGA. And Sonic 2 as well, Mod of Illusion. An advert here for The Haunting, a very original isometric game where you had to scare a family out of their house. Interesting game, not one I've ever played though. A review for Thunderhawk, which we saw an advert for earlier. They said that was a pretty good game, 84% there. Snake Rattle and Roll, a Mega Drive port of the NES title. Now here we can see how the reviews are set out. They have these little paragraphs showing the game mechanics, as well as comments on the game by two different reviewers, or two different writers. And games were rated on presentation, graphics, sound, playability and lastability, and the overall score, which here is 78. Not one they were okay. Right, so here's a review for Gauntlet 4 on the Mega Drive. Of course it's Gauntlet, but with full 4-player mode. A few extra bonus modes as well. They were really keen on this one, as it got 94%. An advert for Royal Navy. And good old Puyo Puyo, a review of, of course, the classic puzzle game. And they like that one as well, 90%. Another advert, this time for Konami's early Mega Drive titles. We've got Tiny Toons, Sunset Riders and Turtles or Hyperstone Heist again. Stuff. KO Flying Squadron on the Mega CD. This was pretty much the closest Sega console ever got to Parodius, at least until the Sega Saturn, which got a Parodius game of its own. Very bizarre and very fun as well. That gets 90%, so they clearly agree. An advert for the Pro Action Replay, the cheat cartridge. And here we have Fantastic Dizzy. Dizzy series was very popular back in the day. Surprisingly, the only one on the Mega. It was the only one on the Mega Drive, but it's the only one on a. It was ported over to the Game Gear and Master System, but this is all we saw of him with Dizzy on the Sega consoles. Not a very good game there, it seems. Only 59%. And NHL 94 again. NHL 94. I believe they said this one was okay, but not as good as NHL 93. An advert for a spot cream remedy thing. Don't see half as much as those as you did back in the day. A review of Zombies, or Zombies Ate My Neighbours, to give it its full uncensored title. It was just Zombies in the UK. A very comical exploration game with a horror theme. A very good game, 92%. Actually developed by LucasArts and released by Konami, or published by Konami. Adam's Family on the Mega Drive, a game I really enjoyed on the Super Nintendo. A platformer based on the movie, but they weren't terribly keen on this one though. It only got 55%. And Sonic CD. Yes, I actually reviewed Sonic CD in this issue. Yeah, a game that needs no introduction really. So all I'll just say is they weren't actually as keen on that as you thought it might have been. That's only 83%. That looks like a advert for Kiss 100. Cosmic Spacehead, also on the Mega Drive, a point-and-click game with platform and arcade sections. Not terribly keen on that one either. 58 for that one. PGA Tour Golf, a Master System port of the classic Mega Drive game. That gets 88%, so I like that one. Spider-Man and the X-Men, originally released on the Super Nintendo, ported to the Mega Drive. I said that one was okay, but not in great shape, 78% there. Mega Mart, which is basically their classified ads. Here we have a Game Gear version of Micro Machines, of course another classic game, and one that suits the Game Gear quite well it seems. That gets 94%. Yep. And a review for Echo the Dolphin, so I'm sure Clayman will be very would like that one. That gets 88%, not bad. An advert for Nintendo Magazine System, which was basically the sister magazine to Mean Machines SEGA. Or classified ads. And even more ads there. Here we have a work in progress for Aladdin on the Mega Drive. Of course, very popular game when that was released, and still is quite much loved. Of course, the graphics are amazing. He's still one of the best games on the Mega Drive. An advert for a car magazine, Max Power. More previews, this time for Jim Power, a platform game which never saw the light of day, at least not on the Mega Drive. I think the other versions were released. Music was by Chris Horsebeck, actually. Very nice soundtrack to that one. And Chaos Engine, the Bitmap Brothers classic. Turtles Tournament Fighters, a very different game to the Super Nintendo version, but still same idea, one-on-one fighting game featuring the Turtles. And Donnie's favourite game ever, enough said. And the next, alright, we've got an advert for Megatech, another Mega Drive magazine. Next month page. A lot of odd drivel there. And more another ad, and an advert for Fantastic Dizzy. So that's what's the end of that one, and that's also the end of this little series of videos. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen here, and if you did, please check RadioSEGA.net for more memories of Sega. Not to mention the best Sega music playing 24/7. See ya.